everyone, and welcome to Sealand Plays Gyakuten Live. I think that's how you pronounce it. But basically, it's a Ace Attorney Love Live fan game. I never played Ace Attorney before, but I've seen a playthrough of it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start, because I don't know what to expect, but I'm very excited. Episode 1, Birth of a Turnabout. Where am I? Wait, who is that? I'd like to know who that is. I remember you're... The graphics are stunning. March 2nd, 4:47 p.m. Defendant lobby. Boy, am I nervous. Oh, we're playing as you. Cool. This is our first case as school attorneys. If this doesn't go well, it could also be our last. Well, sorry if I screw up. Hey, Yu-chan, over here. Oh? Ayumu! Good afternoon. Are you ready for the trial? Trial? I didn't even do anything. Huh? Of course I am. Really? That doesn't sound confident. You didn't skip out on studying courtroom proceedings, did you? No, it's just I have no clue if this stunt is going to be popular, that's all. I sure hope Shizuku-chan knows what she's doing. Anyway, you came to watch me, Ayumu? More than that, I'm here to support you. You know I'll always be at your side. Are you sure? But aren't you the victim in this case? Well, yes, but you believe in your client, don't you? You believe in her innocence. If you believe that your client is innocent, then I will too. Ayumu. Senpai, speaking of your client, I think that's her over there. Oh? Senpai, there you are. Hey there, Kasumi-chan. Senpai believes in Kasumi's innocence, don't you? She would never do something like this. Okay, maybe she would, but it wasn't Kasumi this time. Don't worry, Kasumi-chan. Of course I believe you. I wouldn't have taken your case if I didn't. I do wonder, though, what exactly happened if it wasn't Kasumi-chan? The crime did seem like something she would do. Why are we pinning each other? That's not what Love Live is about. Kasumi thinks she was framed. Framed, huh? Now, who would do such a thing? Guess it's something we'll have to find out. There you are. Hello. That sounded like... Are you all ready for the trial, Senpai? Yeah, of course. Are you sure? You studied all the courtroom proceedings through and through? Absolutely. Why does everyone think I'm a slacker? So, Shizuku-chan, you think this will work out? As in, you think people will want to see this type of thing? Of course. People love mysteries. I'm sure this will be a hit.
Are you sure about that?
Even if this doesn't turn out to be popular, it couldn't hurt to try, right? You think there are people out there who actually want to see an idol group do boring lawyer stuff? I can't imagine someone would seriously find fun in such a thing. Well, I just came by to visit. Good luck to you, and let's hope this trial makes for a good show. There she goes. Yu-chan, are you okay? You're shaking a little. I'm fine. It's just, seeing my opponent face to face makes me a little nervous. I don't usually go on stage like you guys. You know, that is true. I'm not used to performing, especially since lawyering is not something I've ever done. Don't worry about it, Yu-chan. Really, you should feel proud of yourself for even choosing to attempt this, whether you win or not. Remember, you can do it. It's okay, senpai. You'll always be Kasumi senpai, even if you fail horribly and make yourself look like a total idiot. That's one way to put it. But they're right. There's no shame in giving this an honest shot. The only thing to do now is to just go all in. We didn't even collect any evidence. What am I supposed to do? March 2nd, 5 p.m. Courtroom. Oh my god, Setsuna's a judge? Court will now begin for the trial of Nakasu Kasumi. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, ready, Your Honor. This is so cool. Are you sure about that defense? Yeah, I know. I don't sound ready. I've heard it before. Look, I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Don't forget to breathe. Your Honor, if I may, I propose we let the defense start the trial off. Good idea. Perhaps it'll help quell the defense's nerves. And Setsuna has a big chest there. Why? I don't know. Or it could be a total disaster. Very well then. Defense, tell us who the victim in this case is. Okay, this is it. Come on, you know this one. The victim in this case is Kasumi, Ayumu, or Shizuku. Well, judging from the info I gathered, it is Ayumu. That would be Ayumu, Your Honor. Very good. I'm glad you know at least that much.
Bruh.
Is that an insult? I mean, I did say as much myself not 15 minutes ago. Next question. What is the crime that Kasumi is on trial for? The crime? You didn't forget, did you? Of course not. I'm just having a moment of non-rememberness. Everything you need to know will be in the court record. If you forget anything, press tab to check your evidence. Okay then, let's give this a shot. The crime that Kasumi is on trial for today is humiliation with bread in the shoes, murder with bread choking, or sabotage with laced bread. Oh my god, what was it in that cutscene? I think it was sabotaging. According to the crime report, the victim consumed a loaf of bread laced with extremely spicy mustard. That's correct, well done. Ha, this isn't so hard. Last question, who is the detective on this case? What's with that question? That's too hard. Oh, you need my help again. Okay, look, if you press R in the court record, you can also check the profiles of everyone involved in the case. Alright then. The detective on this case is... It can't be Kanata because she sleeps a lot and Shizuku is across the freaking hall. So it has to be us. Look at me, I'm the detective now. Yu-chan, you look cool when you do that. Anyway, I hope that was the right answer. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Maybe you could be detective next time we do this thing. Oh, so did I pick the wrong answer then? I guess so. Okay, so it's not you. It has to be Shizuku then, because we haven't seen Kanata, at all. Shizuku. Prosecutor. Damn. I can bring up profiles of Professor. Okay, I know. So it's Kanata? Are you fucking kidding? Who knew Kanata being a sleepy, wonderful human being would be the actual detective? It says here that Kanata-san's the detective. So it would appear. It looks like you're ready to go. Man, I've got this after 2 tries. Well, since the defense is undeniably ready, I suppose it's time for the prosecution to present its opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. From what we know, this incident occurred at approximately 3:30 on March 1st, which was yesterday. For those of you who aren't aware, March 1st happens to be the victim's birthday. At the time of the incident, the victim found this basket of bread left in front of her locker as a birthday gift. Basket of bread was added to the court record. A basket that contains 3 loaves of bread filled with sweet cream sealed with adhesive flaps. The label reads, "Happy Birthday, an anonymous admirer." Oh, a double-breaded bread filled with cream was it? Looks tasty. Looks like a piece of evidence was just added to the court record. I'd better remember to check it out. Naturally, the victim then unwrapped one of the loaves and bit into it. Unfortunately for her, the loaf that she chose happened to be the only one that had been laced with an adhesive amount of spicy mustard. Half-eaten loaf added to the court record. The bread that Ayumu tried to eat, double-braided just like the other loaves, laced with an absurd amount of spicy mustard. Needless to say, the victim immediately went into a panic and started perspiring, ruining her makeup as well as the rest of her day. She's taking this really seriously. From the amount of mustard found in the loaf, we can conclude that the act of sabotage was most likely deliberate. The court agrees. This does not look good. The judge is already agreeing with Shizuku-chan. Although the question remains, why would anyone make an enemy out of the victim? Were it not, Your Honor, please take a look at this. It appears to be some sort of journal. Correct, this is the defendant's diary, retrieved from her locker. I've got a bad feeling about this. There is an entry in this diary of utmost interest to the case. According to the date on the entry, it was written at 12:05 p.m. on March 1st, shortly before the crime. The entry reads, I just saw Ayumu-senpai for the first time. She looks too cute, cuter than Kasumi. As expected, she sounds envious. She wrote that! I would be shocked too. Anyway, Kasumi's diary added to the court record. At 12:05 p.m. on March 1st, Kasumi wrote that she was envious of Ayumu's beauty after seeing her for the first time that day, presented as a possible motive. She noticed I put extra effort into my makeup that day. Damn it, why would she write all that? She's really hanging herself here. I think it's clear to everyone in this court, Kasumi, being a known prankster, did what Kasumi does best. The prosecution presents the following narrative. What occurred yesterday was a simple act of sabotage, out of envy. A prank gone too far, if you will. And the music is jamming. I like it. Order! Well then, this case seems pretty open and shut. We have three things: an opportunity for the crime to be committed, a motive for the crime, and evidence. I wouldn't be too opposed of hanging down the verdict right now. That's it? I didn't even get to do anything yet. Whoa! Don't get me wrong, I'm off for a guilty verdict. But wouldn't you say that you would be too easier? When did she get so arrogant? Looks like she's fully embraced in the role of a prosecutor, as expected of Shizuku-chan. There are non-arrogant prosecutors, you know, in the interest of making things more, well, interesting. The prosecution would like to present its first witness. Very well. Who's the witness? Oh, Kanata? Oh my gosh. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Konoe Kanata. Kanata-chan is Haruka-chan's big sister. Oh, and Kanata-chan is also a member of Nijigasaki and a member of the health committee. And detective of this case too, it looks like. Thank you. You did a good job with the investigation yesterday, especially given that you were called on short notice. We would like you to testify about exactly how you found the evidence, and how you came to the conclusion that Kasumi was the perpetrator. Okay. Kanata-san's going to testify? Alright, Yu-chan, make sure you listen closely. This is going to be very important. Witness testimony. What was found? Kanata-chan began investigating the scene of the crime at 4:15 p.m. The basket of bread was right there on the ground in front of the locker. Kasumi-chan's diary was later found in her locker, so we had her motive. The basket of bread had Kasumi-chan's name written on it, so we concluded that it could only have been her. I see. It all lines up with what was previously established. As expected. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Now, defense, cross-examine if you dare. Cross-examine? This is it, Yu-chan. The cross-examination is the defense's chance to attack. Defense attack? Right. How does that go again? Well, think of it this way. If Kanata-san's testimony stands, we're done for. Everything she said has incriminated Kasumi-chan. That means your goal is to point out contradictions in Kanata-san's testimony. Contradictions? People are flawed. Testimonies might not always be accurate, whether on purpose or by mistake. If Kasumi-chan truly is innocent, then the evidence should contradict the witness's testimony somehow. When you find a statement that contradicts the piece of evidence you have, open the court record and present that evidence. Okay, I think I get it. You're really good at this, Ayumu. You should totally be a prosecutor or something someday. No thanks. I don't have the heart. Well, this is it then. My first cross-examination as a school attorney. What was found? Oh boy. I'm a little nervous. Kanata-chan began investigating the scene of the crime at 4:15 p.m. The basket of bread was right there, on the ground in front of the locker. Kasumi-chan's diary was found in her locker, so we had her motive. The basket of bread had Kasumi-chan's name written on it, so we concluded that it could only have been her. I don't see any contradictions. Is that so? I see one already, Yu-chan. Seriously? Remember, when you see a contradiction, press tab to open the court record, then press E to present a piece of evidence on the offending statement. That's the way to go. I'm not good at this type of stuff, so please forgive me. Wait, it says 3:30 on this, so I think this is a contradiction. I could be wrong. The witness's statement blatantly contradicts this evidence. I don't see it. You don't? Well, let's just say it semi-blatantly contradicts the evidence and round it up. Overruled. Try to think things through more clearly. Looks like my points with the judge got rounded down after all. Okay, so it's not this. Let's try this statement. I think we screwed up. Sorry, I just wanted to yell out objection. Defense? It's fun, okay? Unfortunately for both of us, penalties or not. Okay, so we'll try every statement. It has to be this, right? Your Honor, this evidence contradicts the witness's statement. Really? How so? I have no idea. A little help? Wow. Sorry, I am not your teacher. The only help I can give you is this penalty. Oh, I think it's this, after going through every answer. Witness, can you explain something to me? Where exactly do you see the defendant's name on this basket? You don't see it? It's right there on the label. It's not here. That's right. The basket is from an anonymous person. An anonymous? The defense is right. There's not a name to be found on this basket. After 3 tries, of course. Way to go, Yu-chan. That's weird. Kanata-chan wonders how she missed that. Maybe you were reading it with your eyes closed? That's mean. Aw, Kanata with her pillow. Sorry, that came out wrong. So the meaning of this is, it means that the basket can be found from any one of the thousands of students at the school. The prosecution's evidence is completely circumstantial. Wow, it looks like you did study hard after all. Give me some credit here. Not bad, defense. You might be sharper than we thought. But that was an easy one, wasn't it? Low-hanging fruit. It was cheap and a small victory. It took me a couple tries, but thank you. Go on, tell me 100 more ways to say those. Unfortunately for you, cheap things don't hold up well. Clearly, the witness was just speaking figuratively. The defendant's name might as well have been on the basket. That is what she meant. I suppose that makes sense. Give me a break. She absolutely did not mean it like that. In any case, a discrepancy as small as this can easily be covered. Wouldn't you say so, witness? The prosecution will just leave it to you. Please testify again. And please, no metaphors this time. Okay, Kanata-chan will give you all a better reason. I guess that didn't really do much for our case. Don't give up yet, Yu-chan. With every contradiction that you point out, you get one step closer to the truth. You're making great progress. Just hang in there. Closer to the truth, huh? Then I'll just have to chip away at the prosecution's case little by little until it collapses. Great, we gotta do more work. How we narrowed it down. The locker we found the basket at wasn't the one in the hallways. It was the one in the club room. Only members of the school idol club have access to the club room. Also, the only club members who would know which locker belonged to whom. Combine that with the motive, and the only one who could have done this is Kasumi-chan. It appears that the defendant is the only possible culprit after all. Indeed, there are only around a dozen students who have access to this club room due to the fingerprint sensor on the doorknob. Out of those few, only the defendant could have had both the opportunity and motive to commit this crime. Wouldn't you say so, defense? This isn't looking so well for us. Hey, did you see any contradictions in that? Well, to be honest, no. So are we screwed? There's still a chance, Yu-chan. We're not out of the game just yet. Maybe we can still turn this around if you press Kanata-san. Press her? What, like on her stomach? No! You think we can squeeze the truth out of her that way? No, I mean ask her questions about her testimony. Pressure her. It's entirely possible for her to say something we didn't know before. That could be our ticket out of this pinch. Defense, would you still like to cross-examine the witness? Not like we have a choice. But anyway, of course. Alright, I better give this a shot, otherwise our chances of winning will be even more worse. If I remember correctly, it didn't specify like what locker it was at. Let's see here. It doesn't specify if it was in front of a locker, so... Your Honor, this evidence contradicts the witness's statements, and since the music didn't stop, I assume it's wrong. Oh God, we only got one more chance. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. The defense has failed to give the court sufficient reason to doubt the prosecution's claim. As such, this court finds the defendant, Miss Nakasu Kasumi, guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately. That is all. Court adjourned. Retry. Okay. Exactly what difference does that make? You're the leader of the club, you don't know? Objection sustained. Hold your horses now. Kanata was just getting to that part. I guess I gotta get more used to this pressing thing. No penalty though, that's good. I pressed this. I guess we'll press all of them and see what's up. To clarify, that's because of the fingerprint sensors on the door handles that were recently installed, correct? That's right. The door has a sensor to detect if it's jammed or being held open for too long. In which case an alarm would go off, meaning that the possibility of someone sneaking in is slim to none. But suppose somebody from the club opened the door to let someone else in. I suppose that's possible, but... We'll press this too. Just because someone's a member, that doesn't mean that they would know which locker was whose. Are you saying the inverse is more likely, that someone who's not in the club would somehow know each locker's owner? I guess not. The lockers were only added to the club room recently. Currently, they aren't labeled with anything besides a number. Those two facts together suggest that only someone who frequents the club could have seen which locker was whose. Come on, there's gotta be something I can use in here. Wait a minute, don't you think that's kind of a leap in logic? Everything about that line of reasoning is based on assumptions. There's no definitive proof that my client is the one responsible for the crime. Ooh, I think we got it right this time, finally. Access records. Access records? Yes, access records. The fingerprint sensor on the clubroom door does more than just control who enters. It also keeps track. What? Okay, I see. I would like to draw your attention to this area here. Ayumu entered twice. Oh, so did Kanata. The victim had entered the clubroom on two separate occasions, once at 12:05 p.m. and another at 3:30 p.m. Recall the incident that occurred at 3:30. How fortunate is that the victim happens to be here in this courtroom right now. Tell us, did you see the basket at your locker the first time you entered the clubroom? Ayumu, did you? Well, no. Order! Let it be known that the defense approved of that testimony. So in other words, the only time that the basket could have been left at the scene of the crime was between the first time the victim entered and the second time the victim entered. As you can see, the only person who entered the room between the two times was Kasumi-chan. That seems to be the case. Witness, please add this to your testimony. Sure thing. Sorry, Yu-chan. I think I just blew our chances. No, don't worry. It's not your fault. Access records added to the court record. Records of everyone who entered the clubroom on the day of the crime. The system was shut off at 4:30 on the same day. They got us good, isn't it? Is it over for us? The access records also show that Kasumi-chan was the only one who entered the clubroom between the 2 times Ayumu-chan entered her. So it must be her. I briefly saw Kanata enter twice. Kanata entered at 11:50 a.m. and 4:15 p.m. This testimony's a lot stronger than the last one. Not only that, but Shizuku-chan's starting to get aggressive. Still, we can't stop here. Remember to press the witness for more info by hitting Q. Looks like an opportunity has opened up. We'll just have to hope it's enough to work with. Okay, so I guess I gotta press the last statement. I think. I don't know. Anyway, Kanata-san, you yourself are on this access record twice. Yeah, the 4:15 one is when Kanata-chan arrived to investigate the scene. There also would have been a 4:51, but then we shut off the system at 4:30 to prevent making the list longer than necessary for evidence's sake. What about the 11:51? The 11:51, Kanata-chan went in there to take a nap. Typical. Emma-chan was long gone by the time Kanata-chan got there, and just as previously said, the basket wasn't there at the time. The prosecution has built a strong case. It really doesn't look like anyone else could have been behind the crime besides the defendant. Is there really no one else who could have done it? I don't think so. So we'll just wait. It's no use. I better survey my options again before doing anything too hasty. Okay, so wait and see is a failure, so there's gotta be someone else. Actually, there is someone. Oh, who might that be? I'll show you. Here's another person who could have committed the crime. It's gotta be Kanata, cause she entered the room twice, along with Ayumu, but at different times. So, witness, you said Emma-san was gone by the time you arrived, so she had nothing to do with the crime, correct? That's correct. I see. What about you? Kanata-chan, the fingerprint sensor tracks people who enter, but says nothing about who leaves. I assume it only works from the outside so people don't get locked inside if it fails? How do we know that you didn't put the basket there after Ayumu left the first time? Well, wait, this is wrong, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, witness, we must consider all possibilities. Suppose you brought the basket in when you first entered and hid it somewhere in the clubroom until the defendant came and left. Wouldn't it be possible for you to place the basket then? It'd be easy to frame my client for the crime. No, Kanata-chan's the detective. If you were still in the room after the victim left for the first time, then anything could have happened. As previously established, the victim happens to be in the courtroom. How fortunate. Well, care to ask her again? Were you still in the room when Ayumu left? Well, the defense has a fair point. We cannot rule out this possibility. I did it, we've got her. About time, it took forever. Great going, Yu-chan. For a second there, I was worried that our goose was cooked. Although, if Kanata-san is the culprit, I wonder why she would ever want to do such a thing. Only one way to find out. Prosecution, is there anything you would like to say in response? No. No? Correct. Nothing needs to be said. The defense argument is a, how should I put it, baseless accusation. She saw this coming. The prosecution's truth is in the witness. Just tell them what happened and you'll be fine. Okay. Figures. Shizuku-chan wouldn't be so clumsy as incriminate her own witness with that access record evidence. Looks like it's not over yet. I've got to keep the pressure on. Great. There's more. What was Kanata-chan doing? Oh, that's easy, sleeping. The access records don't lie. The only one who could have left the basket was Kasumi-chan. To be honest, Kanata-chan was asleep until 2:10, but it wasn't Kanata-chan because there was nowhere to hide the basket. It wouldn't even fit in a locker. At 2:10 p.m. when Kanata-chan woke up, she left the room immediately. Kanata-chan was asleep the whole time. She didn't do anything between 11:50 and 2:10. Everything seems to be in line with what we know, both about the evidence and about the individuals involved, as expected. Just to check, was Kanata-san really asleep in the room when you entered, Ayumu? Well, yes, actually, she's telling the truth about that at least. So, we'll have to take her word for that then. Defend your cross-examination if you would. Okay, this again. The access records don't lie. The only one who could have left the basket was Kasumi-chan. To be honest, Kanata-chan was asleep until 2:10. But it wasn't Kanata-chan because there was nowhere to hide the basket. At 2:10, when Kanata-chan woke up, she left the room. Kanata-chan was asleep the whole time. She didn't do anything between 11:50 and 2:10. Wait, hold up. How can we be so sure of that? You could have woken up in the huge gaps between people entering and no one would have known. The witness has already clearly established that there was nowhere to hide the basket in the room. Are you suggesting she materialized the basket out of thin air without leaving the room and dropped it off between 2 and 3:30? Well, no. I guess this line of questioning won't do us any good. I've never seen Kanata-chan so panicked before. I feel a little bad for her. Do you think she did it? I don't know, but we have to find something that incriminates her in the testimony or we're done for. Not necessarily, there might be something else that's out of place, you never know. For example, Kanata-chan is claiming that the access records are infallible, but if you can show her that they aren't perfect, try turning your thinking on its head. You never know where a contradiction might pop up. Whatever the case, remember that you can press for more info. We'll press on all of the options again. Are you sure? Could the records have been tampered with? That's extremely unlikely. The access records are easily obtainable, but the info itself is impossible to modify. In addition, the prospect of the sensor was somehow tampered with the next to impossible, since it would mean that everyone would be locked out. Something the matter, Ayumu? It's faint, but I think I remember a very short period of time yesterday where Kasumi-chan and I were both in the club room. Really? But the spaces between you entering the room and Kasumi-chan entering the room are anywhere from an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. Unfortunately, conjecture like that won't get us anywhere, unless we can sustain it. Was the basket at the locker at this time? Kanata-chan doesn't remember. She must have not been paying attention. Well, isn't that awfully convenient? How do we know you're not just saying that as a cover-up? Please, defense, unless you have something to suggest that the basket was indeed at a locker, let's not jump to conclusions. She's right. I'll have to be able to prove that, but I don't think I can. Or maybe I should look for something else. From her entry at 11:50 to 2:10, that's a gap over 2 hours long. Yeah? Okay, well, first off, don't you have class? The better question is, does that have anything to do with this case? True. Nowhere to hide the basket. The club room is relatively open. There isn't anywhere to easily conceal a basket as big as the one involved. Leaving it out in the open is also out of the question, as a witness would have no reason to leave such a gift unattended while she naps. But the basket wouldn't fit in the locker. Did you test that? One of the first things Kanata-chan tried upon arriving at the scene was to see if the basket could fit in a locker. Turns out it can't. It's a little too wide unless the loaves of bread are taken out. Then it could be squished a little. But suppose you had the loaves of bread in your locker and the basket elsewhere? Kanata-chan had a custodian open everyone's lockers. They were all too full to put the loaves in them, including Kasumi-chan's. That's when we found Kasumi-chan's diary in the locker. What did she just say? Kasumi-chan's diary came from the clubroom locker? Kasumi's diary updated in the court record. This whole time I had thought Kasumi-chan's diary came from the hallway lockers, but it looks like she actually wrote the entry in the clubroom. If it turns out that she was actually in the clubroom at 12:05, then this could be important. Let's present Kasumi's updated diary. Yes, finally. That took far too long. Witness, I need you to take a look at this evidence. Kasumi-chan's diary. correct. Thank you for telling me that you found it in the clubroom locker, because this opens up a critical contradiction. It does? That's right, it contradicts another piece of evidence. What, really? In that case, show me the evidence that contradicts Kasumi's diary. It has to be the access records. I would like you all to take a look at the access records. The access records? According to the access records, the only time the defendant entered the clubroom was at 2 p.m. How then is there an entry on this diary from 12:05 on that day? Ridiculous. The defendant's supplier wrote her entry at 12:05 outside the clubroom and brought it in at 2 p.m. and placed it in the locker. And I don't suppose you have any proof of that, do you, prosecutioner? It's simple, really. I don't get how you're not seeing this. If the defendant were in the room at 12:05, she would have been in the room with the victim. Well, Ayumu-san, Kasumi-san wasn't in the clubroom with you at 12:05, was she? Actually, she was. Huh? What? Let it be known that the prosecution approved of that testimony. No way. Maybe I overdid the whole cocky prosecutor thing. Unbelievable. So the reality of the situation is, the access records are not definitive proof. It looks like Ayumu and the defendant entered the clubroom simultaneously at 12:05. This opens up the possibility that anyone from the club could have entered the room at any point, assuming they enter when someone else leaves. As a result, the defense attests that there is not enough evidence to convict the defendant. The court has determined that there is not enough info for a proper ruling yet. There are too many questions left unanswered to cast suspicion on either the defendant or the witness. Phew, Kanata-chan is off the hook. In light of these revelations, court will be adjourned for the day. Both the defense and the prosecution are to search for more evidence for their respective cases. Well done, Yu-chan. You did it. You managed to hold out for the day. Let's not get hastier. When I said that the prosecution was ready, I meant that the prosecution was ready. The prosecution would like to present its second witness. Second witness? Your Honor, the witness can be prepared in 15 minutes. Very well. Court will take a 15-minute recess so the witness can be prepared. That is all. Court adjourned. Wow. March 2nd, 6:21 p.m. Defendant lobby. Phew, that was tough, but it looks like I managed to pull through to some extent. Well done, Yu-chan. It looks like you really have a shot at winning this. You think so, Ayumu? Shizuku-chan's got another witness coming up, and it could go either way. She waited until now to call in the next witness, so they might be more determined to her case than Kanata-san's was. But you never know what to expect in this type of situation. Maybe what the next witness saw will completely break her case. We won't know until we try taking it head on, I guess. Senpai, you were so cool in there. For that, Senpai gets the biggest, cutest Kasumi wink. Here it is. Hold on now, Kasumi-chan. This isn't over yet. Shizuku-chan's calling another witness that we have to tackle. Didn't Senpai see how mean Shizuku got in there? Why is she trying so hard to get Kasumi in trouble? Senpai, do you think Shizuku hates Kasumi now? No, absolutely not. It's the prosecutor's duty to attack the defendant's case. She's not doing this out of any malice. Say, who do you think is the next witness, Yu-chan? If it's someone like Emma-san, we might be in trouble. Who knows? We're just going to have to go in with high spirits and hope for the best. Don't worry, Kasumi-chan. I'll pull the truth out of this situation by the end of the day. Episode 1 of Birth of a Turnabout to be continued. Oh my god, that took so long, but it was fun. Also stressful. But yeah, anyways guys, that was pretty cool. The detective stuff is pretty rough, but I like the concept of it, and I like how it's a crossover fan game of Ace Attorney and Love Live. And I can't wait to see what happens next. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. And I guess I will see you all next time in another Gyakuten live video or whatever I make next. Goodbye for now.